What would you do to beat Terence Crawford that no one has been able to do yet?
Just counter the speed and hard punches and strong punches and moving around like side by side and throwing a lot of punches.
Manny Pacquiao, 8 division world champion.
Cold.
Took chances.
But he can't.
No, but he asked me.
He can't put his list on my list.
Yeah.
Because I don't got Manny Pacquiao top 5.
Why would you want to fight Errol Spence at that age?
I want to fight him because I know I can easily beat him.
That fight should have happened, and I think Manny all time is a greater fighter than Terence, but head to head, I think I'd probably favor Terence because even in Manny's prime, I might have had to favor Terence because he's a counterpuncher like Marquez. He's a longer, in some ways better than even Marquez counterpuncher. Styles make fights. Manny's accomplished more than Terence has as fighters, but head to head, I'd probably give Crawford an edge.
That's great.
What if the rematch of the century never happens? What if Floyd Mayweather keeps posting, keeps teasing, keeps cashing exhibition checks, and Manny Pacquiao runs out of time? Then what? Who does the Pac-Man, the greatest welterweight of all time, step into the ring with next?
Mayweather y Hagler son nombres muy grandes porque tiene la presión, tiene la pegada y tiene el boxeo de un Mayweather. Y ahí vemos la entrada de...
Is it Terence Bud Crawford, the man so good he made Errol Spence look like a punching bag? Or Errol Spence Jr., the man who was supposed to fight Manny until fate stepped in? Sit down, buckle up, we're breaking this all the way down.
'40-year-old Manny Pacquiao, the 8th division world champion only.
Manny Pacquiao, 47 years old, 8th division world champion, living legend, senator, presidential candidate, and still lacing up the gloves. In July 2025, Pac-Man came out of a 4-year retirement to fight WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios in Las Vegas at age 46. And what happened? He fought to a majority draw. 2 judges scored it 114 to 114. Manny walked out saying, "I thought I won the fight." He then announced his return for January 2026, targeting another shot at glory. Floyd's name is floating around. Rolly Romero is rumored, but the conversation boxing fans refuse to let die is this: what about Crawford? What about Spence?
I think we need this rematch because of the unfinished business in the first one. There's a doubt, I'm supposedly win the fight, and then...
The rematch has been talked about since the morning after their 2015 fight, the one where Pac-Man fought with a torn rotator cuff and still made it competitive. Manny has said publicly he wants it. He told ESPN, "Right now, we have a lot of negotiations. There's a possible rematch with Floyd Mayweather. But here's the problem. Floyd Mayweather doesn't need this fight. He's 50-0. He retired undefeated. If Manny, at 47, somehow drops him, his legacy takes a bullet. Why would money take that risk for anyone but a historic payday? And even if Netflix writes the check, there's no guarantee this gets made before Manny's window slams shut. So the real question becomes, if it's not Floyd, then who?" As of 2025, he is the undisputed super middleweight champion after defeating Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision. A 5-division world champion, he joined Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather as one of the only fighters to become a 4-division lineal champion. But let's go back to welterweight, July 29th, 2023, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., a man with 3 belts and an unblemished record.
Probably 147.
Really? 147?
147. Yeah.
Yeah.
147.
Yeah.
I was at the peak. I was comfortable. I was strong. You know, I had less injuries.
Yeah.
You know, now on the tail end, that's when the injuries started coming. But the beginning, nah, I was at the peak. Yeah. That and the end of 140 going into 147.
Yeah.
Was the peak of my career.
Yeah. So he was on.
Now, would Manny Pacquiao beat Terence Crawford? Freddie Roach, Manny's legendary trainer, reportedly said Crawford represents a horrible style for Pacquiao. Your own trainer telling you this is a nightmare matchup. Why? Crawford is a switch hitter. He boxes orthodox, he boxes southpaw, he adapts mid-round, mid-combination, he's a counterpuncher with elite timing, and he's naturally bigger than Manny. Think about it. The fighter who gave Manny the most trouble in his career was Juan Manuel Marquez, a precise counterpuncher who read Manny's speed and turned it against him, knocked him stone cold in round 6. Crawford is Marquez, but upgraded, switch hitting, bigger fists, better chin, more versatile.
I didn't expect that the fight will be like that, but I thought it will finish 12 rounds. But Crawford he did a good job. It's Crawford.
Now let's talk about Errol Spence Jr., the former unified WBC, WBA, and IBF welterweight champion. Before Crawford beat him, Spence was widely considered the #1 welterweight on the planet. Elite jab, exceptional bodywork, a southpaw wrecking machine. And here's the thing, Manny Pacquiao was supposed to fight Spence in August 2021. Contract signed, venue set. Then, Spence suffered a retinal tear. He withdrew, Yordenis Ugas stepped in, Manny lost. And the Spence fight never happened. Boxing fans have never let it go.
Moving forward, there was even talks of a Floyd Mayweather fight. What do you see going on next?
Oh, that's another story. Let's talk about it. Good for me, championship again.
Do you feel that you have what it takes to be a world champion once again?
Yeah, I think so. I can still do it.
Manny actually liked the Spence matchup. Spence walks you down. He's physical. He's aggressive. That toe-to-toe style can suit Manny's counterpunching speed and power. And here's another factor nobody talks about. Spence hasn't fought since the Crawford loss in July 2023. Almost 2 years of ring rust. That is real. That matters. A comeback Spence versus a fired-up Pacquiao. That is a competitive boxing match. The danger, Spence's bodywork. He attacks the body relentlessly. One clean left hand to the liver in the late rounds could end Manny's night very quickly. Manny versus Spence is the fight that should have happened. Unfinished business. And honestly, the more competitive bout, Manny Pacquiao should not be in the ring at 47. But try telling him that. This man came back, fought a reigning world champion to a draw at 46, and is already planning his next chapter.
Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight, but knew what had...
That is Pac-Man. That is why we still care. Whether it's Crawford or Spence, both fights test Manny in different ways. Both fights tell us once and for all, where does the greatest welterweight of all time stand against this generation's elite? Crawford versus Pacquiao, the chess match. Can Manny solve Bud? Spence versus Pacquiao, the war. Can speed outlast power? Either way, boxing wins. And Pac-Man, he's not going anywhere.